I think we're going to find this funnier than all the ladies and gentlemen at home. Are we ready? Wait. I've got to do my intro.
Oh, right.
You're not very in it, are you?
Got to be in it to win it.
Thank you.
And Tom reads things featuring the better half. Take one.
Hello, welcome back to Tom Reads Things. My name's Tom. My glasses are steaming up.
It's quite warm in here.
Mark's here today. Say hello to the ladies and gentlemen. So Katie did a video on her channel where she sat with her other half and they read out the first line of a book to each other and the other one had to guess what it was. So Mark has been rifling through me books and he's got, how many books have you got?
15.
15 books. I'm surprised you can count that high. Very thick.
I'm surprised you've read that many.
We thought it would be a really great idea for him to read out the first line of a load of my books and for me to guess what they are, because what more could you want to see? Mark's got his monocle, which is very needed for reading. Can you read without that?
No.
Thank you, Beverly Jane.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, thank you. Okay, so without further... Oh, should we tell the ladies and gentlemen at home what we saw this morning when we went for a walk?
What, the serpent?
We saw a serpent. She was a serpent in the grass. We took the dogs out for a walk and, not even joking, we saw... how big was it?
Like at least a metre.
At least a metre long. This snake. What was it? Grass snake?
Yeah.
I reckon it was a grass snake.
Or a Nixar, apparently, something like that.
Matrix.
Matrix, yeah.
Disney Nixar.
Yeah, Disney.
It
was colourful.
You are stupid. We saw that and the dogs didn't even see it and I saw its tail going in the undergrowth. So yeah, that's an interesting story for you.
Which happened. I lost a foot.
Mark lost a foot. Okay, right. Should we go with the first books? I'm really excited about this. I think I might get them all.
Okay. Maybe even the wild card.
Is there a wild card?
There may be.
Well, I'm wearing glasses, so I'm not going to wear a blindfold. I'm just going to turn my head away. I promise I won't cheat, though.
It's a large head, so it won't leave the screen. You will find in person the head is too big for the bottom.
You've got an oddly small head, haven't
and
you?
ears, actually.
Yeah, like an
Very
alien.
small.
Very strange
Very
alien.
small.
Sorry about that at home for you having to look at
Sorry,
that.
I won't apologise.
What an awful face he's got. Right, okay, I'm going to turn my head away and go.
Okay. So, the first one. Can we all see it at home? And the first line, if you don't mind.
Yeah, are you doing a South African accent now?
I'm very strong at accents, thank you, Kat. Very, very strong at accents, I'll have you know.
I'm the better vocalist, though. Very strong vocals I've got.
See, this book here would have lost me on the introduction.
We're not doing introductions and we're not doing prologues.
Okay.
We're just doing the very first sentence and that's up to the first full stop, whatever that might be.
Okay, thank you. Chapter 1. In the latter days of the year 1850-something, a most important question was for 10 days hourly asked in the cathedral city of Barchester and answered every hour in various ways. Who was to be the new bishop? Guess that one.
Okay. So, this is...
Including the author.
This can either be one of two.
Right.
It's either, and I'll tell you the two that I think it is, and then I'll tell you the actual one that I think it is. So the two options are either The Warden by Anthony Trollope or Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope. So that's the only two of his books that I've got set from the Barchester series, and I think it's...
You can be looking back at the camera now, to be fair.
Oh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, actually.
I think it is Barchester Towers. Is it?
Correct. Barchester Towers.
Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope.
When did you read that?
I read this last summer, I think. It's a lot longer than I remember it being. Yeah, really like this. Second book in Anthony Trollope's Barchester series. I've I don't know if I've already spoken about this. I've spoken about the Warden on this channel, definitely, but not this book. Read it, it's really good. It's got a picture of Mark on the front. There we are.
An elderly man.
An elderly man. Right, next book.
So the next book I have chosen is this one here for you all. St. Petersburg, December 11th, the year 1700. You will rejoice to hear that no disaster has accompanied the commencement of an enterprise which you have regarded with such evil forebodings. I arrived here yesterday, and my first task is to assure my dear sister of my welfare and increasing confidence in the success of my undertaking. That was bloody good.
Oh, it's very good. Very good. You're not even classically trained as an actor, are you?
I am, actually.
Have you put the book away? Can I turn back now?
Okay, yes, you can have a turn back there, thank you.
So, I think that is The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh my god! St. Petersburg. My sister.
It is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Ruthie has read it. You can see from the binding it's destroyed.
Oh my
Doesn't really look
god! I
after-
love this book. The reason is because actually the very beginning and very end of this book are completely detached from everything that actually happens in the book. So, oh my god! I can't believe I got that wrong. I'm really annoyed. That's your fault.
Very
You read it wrong. Sorry, you read it wrong. Sorry, you read that wrong.
Time to vote off the weakest link.
Oh my god!
Okay, next one. So, for everyone here, they bring her out, not blindfolded, but eyes whitened to the lights. No. They bring her out, not blindfolded, but eyes widened to the last sky, the last light. The last cold bites her fingers and face. The stones, not the last stones, bruise her bare feet. She stumbles. They hold her up. No need to be rough. Everyone knows what is coming.
Oh my god.
It's going to be harder than you thought, isn't it? Shall I do a bit more?
No. Have you put it away?
Where it is away.
You think it was quite recent?
I think so.
Did I finish it?
Yeah, I think so.
I did.
I hope so. It's very short.
Okay, I know what it is.
Okay.
It's The Vegetarian by Han Kang.
Okay. It's Ghost Wall by Sarah Moss. Sorry, Sarah. He's not keen.
I didn't finish it. I read about 20 pages of it.
Oh, right.
So I should have remembered the first line. Yeah, I didn't like
DNR.
it. DNR?
DNR. Do not resuscitate.
DNF this. Yeah, that's really annoying. That's really annoying. I was so cocky as well. I was like, it's the Vegetarian.
Very poor.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'm not doing very well. So I've got one right out of 3 so far. That's
Yeah, you
really
should
annoying.
keep-
But fourth book.
So. This one here.
Don't give me any clues.
Okay.
Although I could probably do with them. You alright? Are you having a breakdown?
The majority of people in this country were shocked to hear that a woman could be shot just outside her home in broad daylight. On the evening of her death, the 6 o'clock news was extended to pay a lengthy tribute to the presenter. Large numbers of the public paid their own tributes, either by posting messages on the BBC website or by laying flowers outside her home.
This is not one of my books.
Could it be the wild card?
This is the wild card. And this is... Can I turn back?
Yeah.
Justice for Jill.
It is Justice for
The
Jill.
Jill Dando story.
It's Justice for Jill. Thank you.
We shouldn't laugh at this, really.
No, we're not laughing.
Poor Jill.
Poor Jill. That's my book.
That's but this is what he likes to read about. Justice for Jill. All those kind of... You like to read about...
Anything quite morbid.
Yeah, you like to read about like real life serial killers and things like that, don't you?
Real life crime, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
quite concerned.
I've got a few of my books here actually that I'm currently reading.
Have you?
Yeah, I brought them down. I thought I might talk about it actually, to be fair. Not want everyone...
Oh, starting your own channel, are you?
No,
Starting your own
not
booktube
everyone wants
channel,
to
are
know
you?
about
I got that one right, so I'm putting that on the correct one.
Okay.
Fifth book, go.
Fifth book. Okay, let's go. Okay, for everyone at home, here we are.
Another excellent Australian accent there.
Here we are. I'm not even trying, to be fair. That's how just very talented I am. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife.
This is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So that's actually one of the most famous... Oh, Sally's kicking off. So that's actually one of the most famous opening lines in the whole of English
That's why I chose
literature.
that, to be fair. I knew you were going to need some support.
Give me an easy one. Very stupid.
You got Jill Dandos, though. Let's still remember.
Well done, mate. Right, okay, next book. This is the sixth book.
Okay.
Are you
So,
leaning on the table?
ever so slightly. Okay, this is the one we've gone with here, thank you. 30 years ago, Marseilles lay burning in the sun one day.
So it is Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens.
There we go. Good job, really.
Hey!
Very basic.
Very basic. So look at that, that's massive. I remember when I first...
Did I get that for you?
No.
Oh.
Very disappointing.
No, there'll be other ones you have.
I did. I've spoken about Little Dorrit. I don't know if I've spoken about Little Dorrit on this channel before. Oh, I'm being sick. And I can't believe I finished it because it's massive. It's like a doorstop. Right, so does that go on the right pile?
Yes.
So I've got 2 wrong so far and I've got 4 right. I don't think that's quite bad going.
No. And
Right.
Jill.
Jill Dando.
Okay. So the next one. When the letter came, I was out in the fields, binding up my last sheaf of wheat with hands that were shaking so much I could hardly tie the knot.
So that is what is probably my favourite book of all time, The Binding by Bridget Collins.
It certainly is. I had to see if you'd get that right, to be fair, because you're always banging on about
I
it.
am always banging on about it. Love it, read it, for God's sake, just read it. I know a load of people who have got this recently, so yeah, please just read it.
Okay, everyone gets that.
How much did I love this?
Yeah, so much.
What was I talking about when I read it?
Justice for Jill. Oh yeah, no.
I was talking about this. But I remember, do you remember me saying afterwards, like, I just can't get over this. I'm never going to read another book that's as good as it again.
Spellbinding, some would say.
Spellbinding. Right, next book.
If you want a term, it is this book. Which I wouldn't want to read, actually, surprisingly.
You can't read. Stop pretending you can.
I know. Lael rattles across the countryside, keeping his head up and himself to himself.
So that is The Tattooist of Auschwitz
Yes.
by Heather Morris.
Yes, well
Yes.
done, well done.
It's because I only recently just spoke about this one, but it's really good. Everyone will probably know about this book and how good it is. I talk about it in my historical fiction series that I've got up at the moment. I can't remember whether it's in the one that I just uploaded the other day or whether it's in the third
I don't think it's in the one
installment.
you've just done.
But it's a really good book. You should read it. It's not very long.
No, I want to.
Next book.
So we've got, in case you can't see, I shall go that way as well. My family's I snorted then like a little pig boy. My father's family name being Pirrip and my Christian name being Philip, my infant tongue could make of both names nothing longer or more explicit than Pip.
This is one of my favourite books, I think, and it is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens.
Well done, Charlie boy!
Charlie!
Charlie!
So I've got a really interesting story about this book. As you can see, it's one of the really nice cloth-bound classics. But this kind of yellowy stuff here is like a fine yellow powder. And I was reading it in the summer, and I was walking from work to the train station. And I had this in my hand, and I realised
She's kicking off again.
Sally's just kicking off. She's going mental. God knows what's going on. And I realised I had like a yellow powder on my hands, and a wasp flew onto my hand and stung me. It thought it was pollen, and it stung me.
Sorry, can I
because
stop
of
you
Charles
there?
Dickens.
I thought this was going to be an interesting story.
So that is going in the correct pile. Well done, me again.
Well done, well done. Doing actually better than I thought.
Right, next book.
So, next book. Miss Brooke had that kind of beauty which seems to be thrown into relief by poor dress.
Oh. Oh, what is it? Oh my god.
I mean, some would
Right,
say...
put it away so I can turn back to the camera and think about it.
Okay.
I know exactly what it is. I can picture the character.
Say it then, go.
Miss Brooke had the sort of thrown into relief by poor dress. Is it? I don't think I finished this one. Is it Mansfield Park by Jane Austen? Oh no, what is it?
Middlemarch.
Oh my god! How did I get that wrong? Middlemarch. Another massive one. God, that's really annoying. That's really annoying. I quite liked Middlemarch, didn't I? Do
Yeah,
remember?
you did.
I had it on my shelf for ages and I was like, oh, I'm not going to read it, I'm not going to read it, I'm not going to read it. And then I was like, it's time, I've got to do it. Because I wanted originally the old Penguin Classics cover, didn't I? And I sent you looking around God knows how many bookshops for it.
Bookshops, yeah.
But I already had this one and I was like, oh, I should just read it. And then I did. This is going on the wrong pile. God damn it!
Okay,
Next
so,
book.
There was no possibility of taking a walk that day. We had been wandering, indeed, in the leafless shrubbery an hour in the morning, but since dinner. The cold winter wind had brought with it clouds so sombre and rain so penetrating that further outdoor exercise was now out of the question.
Can I just say, I love that you're reading this in like character. I think it's wonderful. It really speaks to your dramatic side.
I know, thank you.
Very talented. So that is, again, a very, very famous first line of a novel, and it is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte.
It is. It wasn't it the first book that you read that got you into reading?
No, that was The Black Death. This is one of the first Victorian books that I read that got me into classics. Okay. This and...
I wasn't paying attention.
Incorrect. Yeah, Jane Eyre, what can I say? Everybody loves Jane Eyre. Lauren from Lauren the Books is doing June Eyre at the moment, which is a month all reading about things to do with Jane Eyre, so that's good. Go and have a look at her videos if you like. Right, next book.
Next book, please. Yeah. Some of these books will really give it away. There once lived in a sequestered part of the country of Devonshire one Mr. Godfrey Nickleby, a worthy gentleman who, taking it into his head rather late in life that he must get married, and not being young enough or rich enough to inspire the land of a lady of fortune, he wedded an old flame out of mere attachment, who in turn had taken him for the same reason. Thus the two, who cannot afford to play cards for money, sometimes sit down to a quiet game for love.
Is that just the first sentence?
There is no full stop before them.
Oh my god. Okay.
I know, very drawn out.
That is a wonderful book. I love it very much. It's Nicholas Nickleby by Charles Dickens.
The first ever play I was in.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
My life is more interesting than Tom's. I've never...
What, who did you play in Nicholas Nickleby then?
Oh God, I can't remember. I was about 12.
Love this book. You should read this.
I won't.
No, you can't. Okay, next book.
Next book. Okay. On the step of her new husband's house, Nella Ortman lifts and drops the dolphin knocker, embarrassed by the thud.
I have no idea what that is. Have I read it, is the question.
I don't know, to be honest. I think I remember you saying it was very much like another book that you'd read.
Oh. Read it again.
No, you didn't read the other one.
Read it again.
You didn't read the other one. I'm sure that was the case.
Oh.
I'm probably giving you...
Oh, I know what it is.
Go on then.
I know what it is.
Go on then.
And I think it's the name that's given it away. I think it is...
What name has given it away?
The name of the character.
right.
Has reminded me what it is. I think it's The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton.
And for the bonus point, what was the book that was very similar that you were going to read near the time and you didn't?
Absolutely no idea. Can you remember?
The Toy Maker.
Oh, the Toy Makers.
Thank you, I pay
yeah.
attention.
Oh, you are a very clever young lady, aren't you? Well done. There's actually a picture of Mark on the back there.
Yes. Actually, I pressed that earlier this morning. I'll be wearing it tomorrow.
It's in your dress press upstairs.
That is in my dress press, actually. Thank you.
Okay, that's going
Took
on the
up
right
the
part.
hem about an inch and a half. I'd sense to have shrunk with age.
Right. You're very elderly.
Very elderly.
Very elderly. Right, next book!
Okay, everyone, again, here we go with the answer to the question before we've even started. Mr. Sherlock Holmes, who was usually very late in the morning, save upon the not in...
Start again.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, who was usually very late in the mornings, save upon those not infrequent occasions when he had stayed up all night, was seated at the breakfast table.
Have you ever thought about doing a radio play?
I should do
You
radio.
should do. It's The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, it is.
The only reason I know that is because it's the only Sherlock Holmes that I've got, but I definitely want to read more because I really like this, didn't I?
Yeah. I love everything that there has been that's been on the TV screen, but I've
On
never
the
read the
silver
books.
screenette. What I didn't like is that this cover kind of gives away the ending.
Oh, right.
Bit annoying.
So in terms of the actual Sherlock Holmes series and things like that, is that one that's been televised or anything? Because I don't know that story.
I don't know. I've never.
I think there was one that was very similar about young Sherlock. I watched a program when I was very young, and it was incredibly scary. And there were cakes that came to life, and I think that might have been the Hound of the Baskervilles, possibly.
I don't remember any cakes coming to life in The Hound of the Baskervilles, but I don't know. I don't know if that's been televised because I've not seen any of the televised Sherlock. But I have seen that on a stage play, and it was great. Next book.
And for everyone at home, I think you'll know why I've chosen this. Okay. If you don't get this, to be fair, we'll just stop recording now.
Okay.
And I'll ask you to leave. I might finish off here on my own.
Okay.
Jonah Hancock's counting house is built wedge-shaped and coffered like a ship's cabin. Whitewashed walls and black skirting, being pegged snugly to the beam.
So it is.
I mean, the name's there.
the name is there. It's The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock.
Yes!
By Imogen Hermes Gower. I heard some really exciting news the other day about Imogen Hermes Gower's second book.
Did you?
Yeah. Apparently, it is set in 1960s.
Right, okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
When's this set, sorry?
I basically.
That's historical fiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
But this is like based in Georgian London.
Oh, okay.
18th century London. So, but I just basically want Imogen Hermes Gower to rewrite this like every year for the rest of her life. Love this book. Love it, love it, love it. Laura Mobsby messaged me today. She's just got this out.
Has she?
Yeah.
Well done, Laura.
Well done, Laura.
Got
Lady
it out.
M.
Sorry. Final book then.
Final book.
Final
Here
book.
we go.
Okay, final book for everyone. Probably bored of watching him already, so. Whether I shall turn out to be a hero of my own life, or whether the station will be held by anybody else, these pages must show.
It's. I love the way you're reading it. I love the way you read it. It's so dramatic.
I know.
It is my favourite Charles Dickens book. It's David Copperfield by Charles Dickens.
Ding, ding, ding,
Look at it. It's lovely. Such a good book. I've spoken about this on the Where I Started with Classics video that I did. It's really good. Read it. It's massive, but it's a really good place to start with Charles Dickens if you're interested in Charles Dickens at all. Read it. So that's it. Have you got some books you want to talk about?
This is what I'm currently reading. So, Talking with Female Serial Killers. Myra Hindley there on the front. It's written by a gentleman called Christopher Berry D. It's actually really deep about prisons across the whole globe, going in with some of the most notorious serial killers, talking to them directly about their stories and how they started doing what they were doing, and I loved it.
So you said to me,
Yeah.
It's a bit like, it's a bit...
The introduction, the
It's like
preface to
theory
it and
of,
everything.
it's like academic theory of why people...
Yeah, he's written a lot of
what
stuff
they
to
do.
do with true crime. but this one here is more sort of focused on the very prolific serial killers and really looking at why the nature-nurture side of things. But it's got, you know, loads about Eileen Warnos, as I say, Myra Hindley, Rosemary West, all of those in there, so all of my favourites.
Right, bored of it now.
And another one, which there's a bit of a theme going here for me,
Bit of a theme.
actually, and it is not just about serial killers, but it's the fact that Myra Hindley is on the front here. Some would say I was obsessed. Some would
It
say
is
I
a
was
bit weird,
obsessed.
isn't it?
No, it just so happens. So he talks about
because she's
in
on
this
the
one
front
here.
as well.
Yeah, she's on the front, but he talks about Lowe's. This is actually about the life and death
So the,
of Myra
so the-
Hindley.
Ladies and gentlemen at home.
And it's written, I think, by a lady called Carol Ann Lee. So Carol Ann Lee, it's about the life and death, talking about her actual upbringing as she was a child, the things that happened to her from when she was very young. Just pure gripping. Loved it. Love it. Love it. Reading it for the second time. So yeah. Okay. And the very last book, I'm more of a TV person, watch series and series and series, and Netflix and Amazon Prime and everything like
I
that.
think he should do a channel talking about, because he watches so much crap. No,
It's not crap.
He does watch so much stuff. I think he should do a channel reviewing like Netflix series and Amazon Prime series, all of those kind of things. Comment down below if you think Mark should have his own channel. I think he should. And then I could come on and ruin his channel.
Okay, so final one, just a little one for me, sort of another thing that I like to read about, going back to lots of dramas and things that I've watched previously. Dexter, absolutely love Dexter. I've watched the whole thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And someone recently just bought me the first book in the instalment, which is Darkly Dreaming Dexter, has said to me she also has watched them all over and over again, but she says the books are by far better. So I need to start this, haven't started it yet, probably start it relatively soon. Yeah, so Darkly Dreaming Dexter.
I've never watched Dexter.
Oh, you're missing out. It's amazing. It's amazing. So,
I
yeah.
can't watch any telly.
That's what I'm
I've got
currently
so many
reading.
books that I've got to read.
I know.
Look at this, look at this, look
And
at
he
this.
reads incredibly slow.
I
as
do
well.
read incredibly
Very
slowly.
slow.
Look at this stack of books that I got right.
I know. It's good.
Honestly,
Actually, you
it's
probably
like-
want to leave that there. We probably should have piled that up there to
It's
begin with.
yeah,
to be
no.
fair.
It's like some booktubers, like
Monthly read.
wrap-ups. Yeah, it's like
And
it's like me. It's like, oh, I've read 2 books this month. And
And
some
so-
people are like, oh, this month was a really bad reading month for me. I only read 48 books.
yeah, and Tom's normal wrap up. This is a wrong pile.
Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks very much, Mark, for doing this with me. It's been
You
wonderful.
are welcome.
It's been
First and
wonderful.
last time, to be fair. But no, it's
Right,
been fun.
so thank you very much for joining us. I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!
My gathering eye. Make sure we crop that one out.
Oh, dear. Oh.